and former major leaguer Chase d'Arnaud.
I was a one-year-old, like I said, when the last time they won. And now that I could look back and think about the Dodgers winning in 2020 with my wife and my son, he's a 3-year-old last night, I was putting together a chair. It's really special. All my friends and family were pumped. Usually I was on teams that were, my friends would root against me because of the teams I was on. But I always wanted to wear Dodger blue. So it was very special to watch them win last night and celebrate on the field. I think it's how are they going to do against Snell tonight? I mean, they faced him less than a week ago. Usually when you face the same pitcher within a week, you know what's coming, you got a feel for it. But let's take a look at what he's going to be coming with tonight against the Dodgers. His fastball plays up, way up. According to the radar, his fastball is in the upper 90s, but hitters often talk about how it seems even faster. Like Justin Turner is one of the best fastball hitters in the league, and when you see him struggling to catch up to Snell's heater, you know that it's got some hair on it, Dan. Guys, we need to rake tonight. We got Ace on the mound, we have Blake Snell. Let's score 5 runs for him and keep the Dodgers at bay.
So my first couple rounds, I'm focusing on staying inside the ball. And as batting practice progresses, I don't necessarily get away from that, but I just start swinging harder and harder and harder as it goes on. And by the end of batting practice, I'm certainly swinging just as hard as I'm going to be during the game.
I'll say this, I mean, Turner's a smart guy. He knew what he was doing. He weighed his options, but this is something that he's been wanting to do for the last decade. Right, we start playing when we're 5 years old and we want to be big leaguers, and then you get there and then your next goal is to win a championship. And it's taken the Dodgers a long time to do it. And so to find out that he had COVID in the 8th inning is gut-wrenching. I mean, I don't think that he should have gone out there to do it, but I certainly understand why he did.
You see the Dodgers being back in the mix, maybe getting back to the Fall Classic next year?
I do. I mean, they're going to have this core group together still. Plenty of guys are going to be returning. I'd really like to see him win it next year with a full season. People are going to say it's an asterisk season, but I feel like these guys have made the playoffs year after year after year. They've been close so many times. Like, they deserve this, and there's going to be another championship soon for the Dodgers, no doubt about it. Once Snell came out, the game changed immediately. Next batter, Mookie Betts, hits a double, and the tying run's on third, winning run on second. The ball gets away from the catcher to plate Austin Barnes, and then Mookie scores on a routine ground ball from first base. I mean, I'm so impressed by Mookie's base running. He is so fast, but it's just amazing how quickly the momentum can shift. When a pitcher's thrown a shutout game like this in the playoffs with a low pitch count, you let him keep going. Instead, he was taken out and the Dodgers capitalized, and this ended up costing the Rays the game.
I'll never forget the first time that I stepped onto a big league field. Today, I had the opportunity to watch one of my teammates do that. We were running out there on the infield. His name is Eli White, and I looked to my left as we were running out there to take the infield, and I could see him smiling real big. And so I asked him, like, is this your first time on a big league field? And he just looked at me and said, yeah, and he just couldn't hide any of his teeth.
So he's had 3 Cy Youngs. He's been the National League MVP, which rarely ever happens to be a pitcher. He's a Gold Glover, an 8-time All-Star in 13 seasons. And this was the only thing he was missing, a World Series championship. We live in an era where the front office has a big say. I mean, Dave Roberts there was talk of him getting fired, which I think would have been a bad move. If they lost, I think it would have been a terrible move. This guy keeps the team together. It would have been for optics. I mean, this guy's an outstanding leader. The team really trusts him, and that's really tough. You want to be able to love your manager, and my favorite teams that I've been on, I love my manager. I'm just really high energy. I've always been that way. I don't really need a whole lot of sleep to operate. I just like being awake. Sometimes when I'm going to bed, I feel like I could be doing something, but I have to force myself to go to bed so I can function the next day.
In 2016, when I was with the Braves, a friend of mine who was a producer and I teamed up, and we made an album during the season. We made it when we were living together in Orlando, Florida for spring training, which was wild because nobody could believe that we were doing it. I'm glad I did because it helped me learn, for me, that it's good for me to have an outlet outside of baseball, something that helps me take the plug out of baseball and put it in something else to let the brain recharge.